What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, guys, to episode 2 of From Madrid to Barcelona podcast. And yeah, guys, like you guys know, guys, if you guys were here for the obviously the premiere show on Dave's channel. This is our brand new Barcelona Madrid show that we're going to be running every week, twice a week, one on Dave's channel and one on my channel. And now, guess what, guys? It's the second leg. It's the home game. Because obviously I went to the Bernabeu, right? I thought I handled myself well when I was in the Bernabeu. But now we're back in the Camp Nou, right? And man like Dave is here making his debut on my channel, man. Big up to you, Dave. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Just obviously getting the second episode on the way. It is the Madrid to Barca podcast. So, yeah, I'm fully excited. I got my drinks ready just in case it becomes a bit thirsty. And yeah, we are ready to talk about all things Madrid and all things Barcelona, or on your channel, all things Barcelona and all things Madrid. Maybe we should call it the Barca to Madrid podcast on yours.
I thought of that, because you know what it is, right? I'm petty. I'm like, you know what? I should call it from Barca to Madrid, because last time
it should be Barca to Madrid.
You know what? I'm going to do that.
But the logo is made it as in Barca to Madrid, so you can actually do Barca to Madrid as well. So it's either way, man. It's either way, you know what I mean? So big up all the chat as well. Obviously, the usual people in here, and yeah, we are ready to get obviously rocking and rolling for this podcast.
Yeah, listen, man, appreciate every single one of you guys. So big up to every single one of you guys who are here. And yeah, man, listen, obviously, guys, I know a lot of you guys in the chat. You guys have been waiting for this. Like, I'm not going to lie, Dave, right? There's not a show that a lot of people have been waiting for. They're like, oh, man, you got to do a show with Dave. I feel like you guys have a strong chemistry and this and this. I'm like, hey, don't worry, listen, man, Dave is a busy guy, but we're going to run it. But guess what, guys? It is here. But yeah, listen, obviously, you guys know, if you guys were here on the opening show, right? Obviously, this is a Barca Madrid show, and we're going to talk about all Barca, all Madrid. And listen, man, there's so many things we obviously need to get into, Dave. Barcelona obviously played first preseason. Like, I was on your stream. I was watching your stream because obviously I couldn't do it because I was at work. But I'm like, listen, obviously, hate along, but dude, I know I've heard of hate watches, but that was the typical hate watch, bro. My guy was literally dissing every single thing that was happening. Every single thing was the way you were breaking down the game. I'm like, nah, this is levels of hate that I have never reached. But listen, obviously, first game, Vissel Kobe. I knew the game was going. I knew we were going to win the game, but I knew it wasn't going to be like a stroll in the park, because I was like, listen. This obviously is the first game we played since the end of the season, right? These guys clearly are going to be very, very rusty, and you saw it. They were extremely rusty during the game, right? And I was impressed. There was a lot of negative, obviously, some negative points, some positive points. For me, when I look at some of the positives, it was the fact that some of our youngsters, right, the players who I want to see show up during this preseason, right? Some of the players like from La Masia grads and all of them. I was happy to see some of them play. I was happy to see some of our new signings play. Guys like Ronnie Baji, obviously Rashford also made his debut. Joan Garcia in goal. But I was very, very impressed, right? The first half was obviously not a good start. I feel like Vissel Kobe, they had a lot of great chances during the start of the game. We obviously took the lead. We conceded, right? Went to a halftime 1-1, completely made a complete reshuffle of the lineup. And we won the game, 3-1 in the second half. Goals by Ronnie Baji, obviously our new signing, the guy who's been touted as the next big thing, right? Coming out of Sweden. Let's be real, like that's what all the talk has been. And obviously, Pedro Fernandez from the academy, once again, another La Masia graduate, man. We keep pumping them out like there's no tomorrow, Dave, right? Another one back there. And listen, there's been a lot of talk about him. Apparently, Flick, he absolutely loves this kid, and don't be surprised if we see him during the season. But obviously, I know this is going to be hard because you're a Madrid fan. But listen, talk to me, man. Give me your unbiased opinion on the Vissel Kobe Barca game.
Well, for me personally, I looked at the game as a tale of two halves. So both halves were very different. Obviously, Hansi Flick switched up the team for the second half, and what you saw in the second half was the ball was moving quicker. a bit more sharpness to the players. And when you bring on players like, obviously, Ronnie Bargi, you bring on players like Pedro, you bring on players like, for example, Rashford, they're going to have a bit more intensity about them, because I think Yamal was still asleep, I've got to be honest. He wasn't at the races at all. You saw players like Gavi really just stinking up the first half as well completely. And I don't know if it's the haircut or the hairstyle or whatever he's doing with himself, but man's trying to look like Neymar, but can't play at all like Neymar. Yeah, so the whole Barcelona team, first half looked a bit sluggish, it looked a bit slow, and that allowed Vissel Kobe to have a string of chances that they really had the opportunity to tuck away. They had one very early on in the game. They obviously, I don't know who it was, and I can't recall any of their players, but when he cut in and just had a shot at Jean Garcia, then obviously he made a very easy save there. But then when they started, they actually had a tactic to stifle Barcelona. And that tactic was, when they did receive the ball, they just kept on swinging long balls up front over the top, and hoping that basically it stuck. And it did. It did several times. They had many attacking opportunities. They had more shots on target than actually Barcelona in the first half. And I think Yamal was at fault for that. I think Rafinha wasn't even at the races as well, even though Rafinha was a bit better than Yamal. But Rafinha, I don't know what he was doing as well. And I looked at the team, second half, very good, decent, much better than the first half. You saw the ball moving quicker, and when De Jong came on, you could see that the team was a bit more flowing in the midfield. And we had this debate yesterday about De Jong and what qualities does he bring to Barcelona. He brings excellent qualities to Barcelona, qualities that you don't really know what a player is supposed to do in that midfield, and that is essentially keep the ball moving quickly, not sluggish, not slow, and being incisive for your passing. So, and Rashford delivered a great ball towards Lewandowski. You see, he delivered a great ball towards Lewandowski, a great through ball. Lewandowski squared it across to B-Tech Rooney, and then Rooney bloody laced it in the back of the net, innit? That's what happens. But ultimately, I'm not gonna say B-Tech Rooney, because he seems like a quality player. And when when Ronnie Bargi did actually have the actual ball on that right hand side, he looked very good in the dribble, very good in the turn, very quick, and not a very sluggish player. I would see many players trying to evolve into the Barcelona system, but honestly, really good. Obviously, it's only Vissel Kobe. Guys, it's only Vissel Kobe. We know it's only here. It's only that team. And I really like the way that I think that Hansi Flick would say, okay, cool, we'll just scrap the whole first team and we'll just put another team in the second half. That's what it is. He didn't evolve players, and obviously Rashford came off earlier than expected, but I knew Rashford wasn't going to have much time anyway.
Yeah, because he didn't train that much with the first team.
He didn't train as much, and obviously your fitness levels are not going to be there with the team because you just come in. So banter aside with Rashford, he did decently enough. I didn't see anything wrong with Rashford. The only thing I could say Rashford could improve on is his first touch was a bit sluggish. He dragged it away from himself a bit too much, allowed obviously Vissel Kobe to press him, and obviously he lost the ball several times as well. But that's going to come obviously with the position. The position on the left wing, you're going to lose the ball several times. Yamal always is going to lose the ball regardless. You know, when Yamal picks up the ball, he is going to have a higher dribble success rate than Rashford any day of the week. But not in that game, but across La Liga, he will do naturally. Yeah? Because Yamal is a very aggressive player. That's the difference between Yamal and Rashford. Is probably a bit more tentative. He likes to hold a bit backwards, and then if he has the opportunity to use his pace, he would use his pace.
He just use his pace to run,
to burn guys. You see, Rashford completed no dribbles at all during the match. That is crazy to me, because you would see by Rashford's stature that he's quite tall, quite physical. He reminds me of Rafael Leo a bit, where he's that tall kind of big player, but Rafael Leo's got a bit more silky touch about him.
He does. He does.
Rashford, he kind of reminds me of that kind of player, like a very quick, very strong, very physical 6'2" presence, and can really burn guys for pace. So, you know what? Decent match from Barcelona overall. getting into the swing of things. Obviously, next time you have FC Seoul. You finish obviously the tour as well in Japan, and then you play the Joan Camper Trophy before you go and play Mallorca away from home, which is going to be the biggest tough. And you know what? You need that game against Como to get you up to pace of European football before you play Mallorca away. That's a definite. That's
why we play. That's why we always play them, because as much as we obviously, the preseason is important. I think the Jean Gamper Trophy, like you said yesterday on the Football Chaos show, right? The Jean Gamper Trophy is where we usually play our best team, because usually that's where we're like, okay, we're actually getting.
It's starting 11.
I'll be honest, even though with all due respect to Como, I would have rather we played a team where I'm like, okay, this team would actually give us a test in the Jean Gamper Trophy game. You feel me, right? So I would have wanted to see, I don't know, maybe like a Chelsea, one of those clubs where I'm like, okay, well, listen, we're going to have to play our first lineup. And listen, if we lose it, it doesn't matter. You feel me, right? It's the Jean Gamper Trophy. I feel like sometimes people take it, obviously it's our trophy. So we want to be winning it so that, it can be a great start to the season. But look, I think that you're 100% right? Obviously, there were a lot of issues, right? Now, obviously, Yamal, you're right. Yamal's performance wasn't really great, right? If I'm gonna be objective, right? But I had a feeling, and let's be real, this guy has been partying the whole summer, Dave, right? Since the Club World Cup, this guy has been doing all kinds of partying, right? We're not even gonna get into the partying he's been doing. Everybody already knows, right? And not to mention, right? With everything that's been going on with him, I get it. I get it, right? I'm not making any excuses for him, but he needs to, make sure that, he gets back, to full fitness very, very soon, and more sharpness very, very soon. And listen, Flick has already said during the season there'll be no more parties. So he's banned parties from players from partying during the season. And listen, I'm happy about that. If I'm going to be honest, because dude, I feel like maybe he just saw what was going on during summer. And he was like, you know what, man, I am not letting this happen during the season. You feel me, right? No, we ain't doing any of this. But listen, first game we do win it, right? And I just want to, honestly, for me, Dave, right? If I'm going to be honest, what I want to see during this preseason. All right, I want to see what the young players can do. You understand what I mean, right? I want to see guys like Bernal. I mean, I don't know. People are saying that Bernal, he's still coming back from injury. I want to see him. Give him some game time, right? I know he's just come back from ACL injury, right? But give him some game time, right? Go give guys like Dro more chances. You understand what I mean, right? I literally heard apparently Jeffrey Torres and Vigili might be leaving the club because apparently they're tired of being in the academy. Give these guys an opportunity. You've seen what I've been talking about when it comes to getting new fullbacks, right? So now we might not be getting any more signings. I want to see Jeffrey Torres get more opportunities, right? Because I've been hearing about this kid for so long, Dave, right? Everyone's been telling me, Omar, don't worry about the left back position. We have Jeffrey Torres. He's going to come into the academy. He's going to come in and he's going to play, right? And then you have on the other side, right? People have been telling me, give Virgili a chance, right? I'm like, okay, then give them an opportunity. But apparently, Virgil is not part of the team. He's not part of this tour. And apparently now I'm hearing that he's apparently going to be leaving the club, right? He's decided he wants to leave the club. He wants to play first in football because he doesn't want to be in the academy anymore, right? But give these young players an opportunity, right? And as far as players like Rashford is concerned, look, it was obviously he got substituted, but I was surprised, to be honest with you, Dave. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. When I saw him come off, when I saw all the players who came in the second half continue playing, and he came off, I was like, oh, that's very interesting. I know he isn't trained that much, but that was very surprising, right? I actually thought he might have had a niggle or something. That's why they took him off, but it wasn't that. But look, for me, I want to see in the preseason, especially in the game against Seoul, I want to see complete reshuffling, right? I want to see Ronnie Baji start in that game, right? Give Ronnie, but I don't think he will, because I feel like maybe because how poor Yamal was in the game against Vissel, he might start this one, right? Just so they can get more sharpness. But I would rather see him in the second half finish up the game. You understand what I mean, right? But I want to see Ronnie Baji. I want to see guys like Dro, Mark Bernal, like you mentioned, right? Listen, the whole thing with the blonde hair thing, I'm not gonna lie, you know me, Dave, right? I defend my club, but I don't defend everything. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When the season started around July, I saw Lewandowski with blonde hair. I saw Szczesny with blonde hair. I saw Gabi with blonde hair. I saw Omo with the blonde hair. I'm like, but what are we, some kind of boy band or some shit? I don't know if you remember this day, because you've watched football for a long time. Do you remember in the '98 World Cup when the Romanian team set up
Yeah, they all
against
dyed. They all
Croatia and
dyed
they
their
had
hair
blonde
white.
hairs?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, bro, what these guys trying to do the remake of that team or something? I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work. And it's funny because Chesney did it, and then Chesney changed his hair like the next day. He's like, okay, man, I hear the fans are like, nah, that's enough. But yeah, listen, the thing with Gavi is, I don't know. You know when I look at Gavi, honestly, Dave, right? He's obviously one of those players. He's like that typical British player. You know those try-hard players that the British fans love. Right? That he tries hard. He does well. I mean, for me, Gavi is that. I'm not saying he's not talented. He's talentless. I think he actually offers a lot, right, in the team. However, to be honest with you, he's not a De Jong. He's not a Pedri. He's not a guy like Bernal. He's not like a player like Omo. He's not like Fermin even. You feel me, right? I feel like those guys, they bring something different. I think when it comes to Gavi, he brings the passion. And I think a lot of Barca fans, football fans, they love players that can bring passion.
Gavi is the Mason Mount of Barcelona. That's what Gavi is. Yeah? Because Mason Mount does exactly the same thing. He is just a passion merchant. All he does is that he brings energy. He's athlete. He keeps on running up and down. That's all he does. Gavi is basically Mason Mount, yeah? Just a Spanish version of Mason Mount. That's it. And look, his statistics aren't that great. Like, him as a player would only probably, like, as a centre midfielder, probably pass accuracy wise, probably about 85 to 90%. Not really good for a centre midfielder. Needs to be higher than that. His dribble success rate probably is not that good. Like, everything about him, he doesn't have anything. Like, his assist, he doesn't assist.
He doesn't really have numbers.
He must have started about less than half the games, maybe about in La Liga, probably he probably was starting about 13, 15 games. Everybody in the chat make me know how many games Gavi started.
He didn't play a lot, I'll tell you that. He did not play a lot last season.
I don't know, or appearances, maybe 15 games or so forth. But I just look at it and it's just really poor. Like, how can this guy be... Like, a lot of Barcelona fans respect Gavi. I don't understand the need for it, to be honest. It's like us.
He's a passion merchant. Listen, I'm going to be very real, man.
Like, Ceballos is better than Gavi for me.
Say, I don't necessarily even disagree with Dave. Because, look, obviously, as a Barca fan, a lot of Barca fans, we obviously are biased to our players. We're always going to defend every player to the ground, right? Like, I look at that. When I look at Madrid, I feel like a lot of the player that gets a lot of that is probably like a Raul Asensio. Because I'll be honest with you, Dave, I've watched Madrid games, and I'm not saying Raul Asensio is a terrible defender, but the way some of these people, they look at Raul Asensio, I'm like, bro, I've seen a lot of great defenders at your club. I don't see the lore that you guys see in him, right? I think he's a good defender, but for me, he's no different than a regular, like, standard mid-table defender, to be honest, right? Good enough mid-table defender. Right? I just feel like because he's young, let's be honest, he's a young player, right? He shows a lot of the passion. You can see like every tackle means something. And, fans love that. They love a player who gives it 100%. And Gavi is that, right? Gavi, you see it all the time, especially you see El Clásicos. He's always like getting under the skin of like the Madrid players, in their face, all of that, right? Fans love that. But you just mentioned it. For me, I feel like he's one of those players, right, Dave? There's going to be a lot of players in this team, and I don't like it, right? There's going to be a lot of players in this team who could potentially leave in the future, right? Guys like Fermin could leave. Guys like Casado could leave. All these guys who are more talented, right? But because Gavi is Gavi, I feel like Gavi is going to be one of those guys who's just going to stick around longer than he should. Do you feel me, right?
Yeah.
Because it will be told, if it's just talent, like you mentioned, I don't think Gavi is any good than any of our other midfielders in the team.
I think, Pedri's miles clear of him. Like, De Jong is miles clear of him. Casado is miles clear of him. Like, all your midfielders pretty much are miles clear. And they have certain strengths about them as well. Like, Casado's a baller, bro. I don't care what any person or fan says, yeah. Like, De Jong is an absolute baller. Like, Pedri, we know that he's an absolute baller. So... all your midfielders, essentially, besides Gavi, are actually decent on the ball. Like, I've never rated Gavi's positioning as a midfielder. He seems to get lost. He seems to have no idea what he's doing. When Pedri picks up the ball, his idea, okay, let me run through the center of these players. Let me try and beat them, and then let me try and distribute either to the wing or try and slot a Freddy through ball directly through the center. That's his aim. That's the aim of the game for Pedri. Yeah. Right. So, like for me, like somebody in the chat saying Gavi's like Valverde. There's nowhere, no comparison. No, like Valverde, man, like Mark, bruv. Yeah, like this is unbelievable. Like, how is Gavi anywhere near Valverde? Valverde, he's pressing is some of the best in the league. He knows how to tackle. He bites at the heels. He is a workhorse, but with substance. Yeah, Gavi's a workhorse, but with no substance at the end of it. So that's the situation. Yeah, and Mark is laughing in the chat. Absolutely, he's laughing, mate, because he knows, mate, he's trying to troll. But unfortunately, like, you have better midfielders. So Gavi's not going to get a start. Let's just call it as it. Look, Olmo is your best 10. I feel personally is your best 10. Yeah. And when you got Olmo, I was like, oh my Lord, Barcelona got Olmo. Jesus Christ, what we're going to do, yeah, Real Madrid. Because I saw Olmo as a player that came in and he's like, this guy is so good. Like, I love Olmo. The way he maneuvers the ball. The way he maneuvers the ball is crazy. He's not the best 10 in the world. We know that for a fact. He's not the best 10.
He doesn't need to be. He just needs to be good at his job.
But yeah, exactly. But he can shoot from outside the box. He's good inside the box. He can pass. He can create, and we have that. We have a similar player to Olmo, and I think he's just a bit more tidier than Olmo. Olmo's a bit older. Arda Güler, yeah. Arda Güler is sensational, yeah. And for what he brings into the team, Arda Güler is that typical player that is just very good at all the things that the players in the Real Madrid team are not good at. He is the guy who's great on the ball. He can maneuver the ball any way he wants. He can do a floated through ball to any player up front, like he did for Garcia in the Club World Cup, which we don't really see from any type of player in Real Madrid. When have we ever seen that? The last player that was able to do that was Modric and Kroos, and that's it. Yeah, and Isco. Yeah, so for us, personally, we needed that. And Arda Güler, sensationally, I thank God that Alonso's going to probably put him as a starter. Yeah, so that is the type of player. So Olmo, Arda Güler, but Gavi is nowhere near these levels. He's not in the midfield agenda for any team. I'm sorry, he would fit more of Atletico Madrid team where they just keep on running, like De Paul, very similar player, yeah, that keeps on running all around the pitch and just looks like he's doing something when actually he's doing absolutely nothing at all. Yeah, so that is what Gavi offers, and I don't think Hansi Flick is gonna ever. I don't think he's gonna start him at all this season.
I feel like there's a lot.
Unless you're injured, unless some player's injured.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I feel like a lot of Barca fans are saying, "Oh, Omar, you don't know how you don't rate Gavi this and this." I'm not saying Gavi's a terrible player. I'm just saying that if you look at all our midfielders, with all due respect, right? I feel like we have more talented midfielders in the team than Gavi. What Gavi is Gavi has you can tell the guy plays for the badge. You feel me, right? He plays for the badge. He knows who he plays for, and that's why we love him. Because here's the thing, right? Obviously, we want players that were gonna die for the shirt. That's what we live for as fans. You understand what I mean, right? As fans, we want every single player in the team to give it their all. That's why we love players like Gavi. Even if we don't think they're the best players in the world, we love them because we know that they're gonna always give it 100%. You understand what I mean, right? And that's why we love him, and that's why you see even for for Spain, he plays like that. You can see that's why they always call him up, right? Because he's always gonna give his all. He's always gonna give everything whenever he's on the pitch, right? And like I mentioned, he's a talented player. I feel like there are just better players, like you mentioned, who are better. And like everything you said about Olmo is a fact. For me, just like you mentioned, I love Olmo. And then with Olmo is the only problem that I have with Olmo is his injury issues. As I already said, if this guy can have a full season injury free, bro, we were talking about like top 5 best midfielders. Honestly, guys, because I remember when we signed him, right? And like you mentioned, when we signed him, I knew we were signing a gem. And you saw it from the first game he played. The first game, that Rayo Vallecano game, he came off the bench. This brother came on, scored the equalizer within like 5 minutes and got the assist for the second goal. I'm like, bro, this is what we live for, man. And you saw it every time this brother was on the pitch. Our midfield was completely different. I feel like people were always looking at people looked at the Inter game as like the only game where they're like, this and this and this. I'm like, bro, you talk about the Inter game. What about the other games where he played? I saw this guy play false number 9 and was like one of the best players when we played in the Copa del Rey against Betis, or we beat them 5-1. This guy played as a false 9, bro. Was running all the way to the defense to get the ball and running straight to the attack and being the number 9. Like, come on. And this is the thing, Dave, right? If you look at the season that's coming up, right, with all the talk with Lewandowski, I would like to see, right, at some point, us doing a lot of changes in the team. You feel me, right? So I want to see, Omo, because Omo can play the 10 and he can play false number 9 as well. And this is the thing when you play a false number 9, right, Dave? In a team like Barcelona, we've had false number 9s in the past, right? I feel like even when Messi was there, when we used to play Messi in the attack as a striker, he wasn't a striker. He was a false 9. You understand what I mean, right?
And feeding the other players, yeah.
Exactly, right? He used to be that. And for me, I feel like, Omo offers a lot. And like you mentioned, just like Gula, because here's the thing, I rate Gula, right? You know me, right? Like I've already said it, right? I rate Valverde and I also rate Ada Gula. Well, we almost signed Ada Gula. He rejected us to join you. Imagine if we had Ada Gula and Danny Olmo in that. Bro, imagine if we had Gula in this Barca team. Like, imagine.
I'm not gonna imagine it. I'm not gonna imagine it, mate.
You can, you can.
I don't imagine it, mate. He's a true Madridista, mate. Man, like Arda Güler, yeah, because he stuck around. But look, I don't want to imagine those kind of things. I want to I just want to say that, like, our midfield, when I look at it on paper, and we talked about it in the Football Chaos show yesterday, is quite weak. And obviously the transfers, will it die down? Will Rodrigo's leaving of Real Madrid, if he was to leave, and the talk of Tottenham, I don't even know where that came from, mate. That is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But Tottenham apparently are prepared to pay him really high wages for him to join, and if that's on an occasion of 350k a week, then like Rodrigo, I don't think he would pass up on the opportunity. But Rodrigo, I would like to see him at a big team. If he is to leave, I would like to see him at Liverpool. I would like to see him as like a Bayern Munich, these kind of teams that can offer him a start but also give him the opportunity to shine in the team, you see. So the transfer talk around Madrid is slowly dying out to a position where I'm thinking, okay, is Perez actually going to do more business? Unless Rodrigo goes, there is no business for Real Madrid. I'm sorry, there is no business until Rodrigo goes. I don't think we're capable of doing any more than that, and any more than we already have. Unless maybe it's like a 30-40 million pound player which we can bring in, and yeah, there's like transfer talk is all fugazi, it's all fake, it's all up in the air. But at the end of the day, there is some element of truth to it, because Rodrigo's not happy. I mean, Rodrigo's not a happy player. I can tell by the mannerism on the pitch during the Club World Cup. He's not happy. He's not happy that he wasn't starting the majority of the games. Yeah, he started the first game against Al Hilal, but moving on from that, yeah, he's crazy. So I don't know. A team like Bayern Munich, he'd be sensational. I think in a team like Arsenal, he would thrive as well in that team, especially with Gyökeres up front and also Saka and Rodrigo. That team will be absolutely amazing. Like it would be. It would definitely. It won't be competed with Liverpool, I don't think yet. But I tell you what, they may win a trophy.
It will be close. It will close the gap.
Yeah, it would definitely close the gap. But Rodrigo's a kind of player that fits a pass and build type of team. So if you're looking at Man City, you're looking at Arsenal, Tottenham not so much. I'm not sure how Tottenham are going to play under Thomas Frank, but I don't know. I don't think Tottenham is the kind of team that we'll face. Liverpool is different. Liverpool, they are a quick transition team, and Rodrigo will fit that anyway. But Rodrigo will be dropping into the hole a little bit deeper, like sometimes Salah does, and also facilitating. So I don't know. Like, yeah, we'll have to see, man, where Rodrigo ends up. But transfers are pretty much dead for Real Madrid at the moment. I don't think we can go anybody else until we sell him.
You know what's funny, yeah? When I look at the fact that you guys have a left winger like that in your team, and I've been struggling with left wingers, bro, it just pisses me off.
Yeah, exactly,
I'm like, bro, they literally have a left winger that they're trying to get rid of who would walk into my team. Yeah, and exactly. That's like
Rodrigo will be a starter ahead of Rafinha. If
Oh
Rodrigo
yeah,
came to
no, bro.
Barcelona, he would be
If
absolutely a starter.
Rodrigo played for Barca, he would be on that left wing. I'm sorry, I
He
know.
would cook.
Listen,
He would absolutely cook as well.
I'm not saying Rafinha would be benched. Don't be surprised if we decided to move Rafinha as like a false number 9 or like a 10 or something. But I'm telling you, Rodrigo, he would have started at Barca because I think, like you mentioned, bro, Rodrigo is one of the best players. I feel like the best left wingers in the world. People people love to disrespect. I feel like they disrespect him because of the amount of talented players you guys have on your team, right? You guys have so many talented players in that level. Like you have Mbappe who can play on the left, you have Vini obviously, right? And all these guys, they take the spotlight. But when you look at Rodrigo, I've always said this, bro. When I look at Rodrigo, he's for me the definition of a big game player. Because yes, right, Vinny turns up in big games. Yes, Kylian turns up in big games. But what makes Rodrigo special is that Rodrigo turns up in the big games when you need someone to turn up. I'm talking about like when like the game is like tight, right? Either you're losing or you're drawing, right? And you don't know where the next goal is coming from. Rodrigo is the guy that steps up and gets the goal. I'm talking about the game against Atleti in the Champions League last season, right? When the tension was hot, he got the opening goal, right? When you guys were playing against Manchester City, right? And you were 1-0 down, and they were saying, "Yo, what did they say? 25% chance or like 10% chance?" And then Rodrigo came in and just scored like 2 goals in like the 90th minute, and then you guys went on to win it at extra time. Like this is what I mean. Like those players, they are priceless. Players like that are priceless, bro. You can't put a price on players like that, right? And Rodrigo is the definition of that, bro. This guy is so good, and he would walk into any team. And here's the thing, right? Obviously, we're gonna segue now to the Madrid section, right? Look, obviously, you just talked about Rodrigo, right? He's a player that he could be, he's the one that all the talk has been throughout the summer that he's gonna be leaving, or he could leave, or he's the one that's likeliest to leave, right? But let's talk about some of the other players also in your team that also, right, look like they're going to be out of the door potentially, right? Now, Vinicius Jr., obviously, we know he's in contract talks with the club, and it's not exactly, looking rosy right now because obviously he wants to get paid more than Kylian, which is something I could have predicted when you guys. Of
course, he wants to get paid. Of course, he wants to get paid more than Kylian.
Like, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not shocked at all. I would be lying to you, Dave, if I came out and said, I'm shocked that he's thinking this way. I knew eventually the wages that Mbappe was going to get, my guy was going to start either asking for the same amount or close to that amount or higher than that amount, right? And then you also have Alaba, right, who's on 400K?
Yeah, but Alaba's not going anywhere.
But that's my point.
He's going to milk Real Madrid. He's going to milk Real Madrid.
And he said that he doesn't want to leave. He said that
he won't leave.
Yeah, he said that he believes that in this 1 year he can prove himself in the team. That's debatable. And obviously we got Raul Asensio, who now I've seen a lot of new outlet now saying that apparently now Alonso doesn't trust Raul Asensio, which I understand. If I'm going to be honest with you, Dave, I get it because here's the thing: he's a good defender, but brother, this brother is a loose cannon. Now, don't get it twisted. Real Madrid have had loose cannons in defense in the past, right?
Yeah, Ramos has been one of them.
Ramos was like the biggest loose cannon. This guy got a red card every single time, bro. This guy has the record for the most red card. Like, Pepe was one of those defenders. I was like, if I'm a striker, I would fear Pepe. Pepe was one of those guys who just
he will kick you, mate. He will kick you. You don't care. Yeah.
This guy, remember that one time? Do you remember when he literally that famous Hitafe moment when he kicked that player, bro? And he just, I'm telling you, this guy did not care. He was unhinged. So I've seen players like this at your club. The problem with Raul Asensio is this, bro. Raul Asensio is such a loose cannon in that he's easy to rattle. I saw it during the Club World Cup when you could see that when players were in his face, he was just getting angry and he was biting. He was getting sent off within like 10 minutes in your game against, I think, was it Salzburg in the World Cup? Getting sent off after like 10 minutes. I'm like, bro, he's becoming a liability. He's a good defender, but brother, you don't need a player that can just get a red card within like the first 5 minutes of the game, bro. You need to know, okay, because this is the thing with Ramos. Ramos used to get a lot of red cards, but Ramos usually got his red cards during the second half till end of the game when, the game was already over. You guys were either winning or you thought that they lost the game and say, fuck it. I'm just going to take the clatter this guy out. And then he gets sent off. Doesn't really matter. You still win the game or you go on to lose the game like you were supposed to lose if he was playing, right? But Raul Asensio is there. But let's talk about Vini first, right? I want to start with Vini. Look, obviously Vini, right? He's been at the club now for what, 7 years now? 7 years, because since he joined in 2018, so he's been there for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, two-time Champions League winner. He's had big game moments, right? Obviously, big moments, right? Champions League finals, right? Scored in both Champions League finals that you guys won the last 2 times, right? He's turned up in the big moments, but he didn't have a bad. He fell off a cliff last season. Fell off completely off a cliff. I'm like, bro, that's bad form, and then that's what's happened to you, bro. You did not have a bad form. You just did not turn up for the season. You understand what I mean, right? And now he's coming out here now demanding for the amount of money that he's demanding. I'm like, bro, I would have probably stood with you if you had a great season. If you had a season that you had this season before when you guys won the Champions League and you're demanding this money, I can say, well, okay, well, you've been here long enough. You've been consistent long enough. I hear why you want this money. But, brother, you did not look good last season. You coming out here now demanding all this money is a joke. But, Dave, talk to me, man. Like, what do you think about this whole Vini thing, bro? Like,
yeah, man. So there's pretty much obviously fresh rumors as such today that Real Madrid are preparing to sell Vini and look for his replacement. And I'm not entirely sure this is actually factual. I don't think Vini is... He brings a lot of money to the club. That is absolutely factual. He brings a lot of money to the club. T-shirt sales through the roof. He's obviously got the sponsors. Everything that he does for himself as well. He makes a lot of money around Madrid. He doesn't want to leave Real Madrid, leave Spain to go to Saudi or another place where he would earn maybe more money on paper, we'll say, but 400k, which he's on now at the moment, compared to 600k, which is on what Mbappe's on, is a big difference, yeah? And people would say, okay, Vini, does he deserve that? Does he deserve that increase? It depends. Like, performance-wise, no. Last season doesn't deserve that. The year before, yes, he does. But the situation is that he would naturally be looking for increase in pay, increase in, obviously, decreasing the pay gap between him and Mbappe. So, ultimately, the question is this. Can Vini perform this season to really influence that decision that's been made by Perez? Is Perez going to say to Vini, okay, cool, here on the table is 200k more. You're now equaling with Mbappe. Now we're going to renew your contract. Yeah? So ultimately, we need to realize as fans, is Vini going to be the same as last year where fans... They did shout about Vini. I shouted the most about Vini. I can guarantee you that. The situation is that Vini, the fans were like, here and there, they still support Vini. They still love him as a player. However, this season is his make or break season. If he doesn't go, if he doesn't leave the club, then this is make or break for Vini. I'm telling you right now, if he does not perform this season, they're looking at his contract. Very short time to go. They're like, okay, Vini, time to pack up your things, get your boots on, and leave Real Madrid. So, it's all dependent on this season. But if we do sell Vini now, we will get a huge amount of price money for him, honestly. If we do sell him and we sell Rodrigo, which is unfathomable, then we would get nearly... We would nearly get probably about £300 million for those two. And... That's what, that's what Real Madrid have. We have two. I would call them world class, but not world class. It's hard. Okay, just call them world class for now, just for the sake of it. Two world class players that have so much money as an asset towards Real Madrid that they could be going off to the next team and be like, okay, cool. Here's the money. Slap it down. 300 million. Okay, Real Madrid, what are you going to do with this money? Okay. We buy Saliba, we buy a replacement left winger, and we buy a replacement right winger. That's what we'll do. You see? So that's how Real Madrid should be rolling. If we see this money and we're like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll do it. And Vini, I tell you what, the only team that I could see him fit around the world, that could maybe be an improvement. I actually don't know, I actually don't know. I can't name one off the top of my head where he would be an improvement. Like, you could see maybe him playing for like a Chelsea or something. I could see something maybe like a Chelsea for Vini. I don't know. Like, guys in the chat, who you see Vini playing for? Is he just going to jump to Saudi Arabia and do that? Or is he going to go to the Premier League and try his luck there? Or go to PSG, try his luck there? I don't think PSG will put Vini ahead of Kvaratskhelia. I'm telling you right now.
I think they would, bro. Let's be real. I mean, he shouldn't be, but they will put him on.
Luis Enrique's Luis Enrique's the guy, bro. He's not going to allow that, bro. I know what Luis Enrique type of profile of player is, and it definitely isn't Vini. That's absolutely no question about that. Would he go to Man City? Who knows? Would he go to Chelsea? Who knows? Would he go to Liverpool? Liverpool, I could see him doing well. I could see him doing well at Liverpool very well, but I don't think Liverpool can pay that money.
No.
Hey, say Barca. Somebody said Barca.
No. I'm sorry, bro. Listen, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. But look, you know what it is, right? Everything you said is 100% true. I 100% agree with everything you said. I think that when you look at Real Madrid, look, here's the thing, man. When it comes to Real Madrid, people need to understand, bro. Nobody is bigger than the club. There's no club that represents that more than Real Madrid. Doesn't matter what you've done, right? I've seen Cristiano Ronaldo break every single record that has been at that club
And get offloaded. Yeah.
He got uploaded. Listen, bro. It doesn't matter, bro. What have you done?
Bye.
Like, it is what it is. You come in, you do your thing, make your legacy, and then out the door you go. You feel me, right? R9 left, right? Yeah. Zidane retired, I guess, right? But I've seen Raul, legends of the club. Casillas, these guys all
get outed. Yeah, they get outed of the club.
Do you have any idea what these players did for this club? Do you understand what I mean? There are levels to this. Right, and at the end of the day, when it comes to Vini, I get it, bro. Your track record speaks for itself, brother. I've said this even to Will. You've said this to Will. I've said it. I'm like, bro, you gotta understand, bro. The reason why Real Madrid have always been relevant for so many decades, no matter how many times clubs do this, Real Madrid never do this. I feel like Real Madrid, the only time that Real Madrid maybe were not like themselves was probably in the 80s. Right, and they were still winning leagues, but really in Europe, you guys were not really playing well.
We started winning leagues, Champions Leagues, late 90s.
In the early 90s, and you never look back after that. Obviously, you guys went on like a 9-year span where you guys didn't win the Champions League, but that was like the longest charge you guys had in the modern era. You understand what I mean, right? But the reason why is because at the end of the day, Real Madrid have always been ruthless, right? It's always about, okay, we get it. You're still a legend. You're still an icon of this club. But brother, if you are not doing it today, you need to step aside so that someone else can come in and take your place. When it comes to Vini, I feel like Vini needs to understand that. I always tell you with these players, man. Some of these players, I feel like they forget who they play for. I even have that problem with Ter Stegen. That's why I have a problem with him. Because I'm like, bro, you need to understand. I don't care what you've done the last 10 years. Okay, bro? You were at Barcelona. What are you doing today? Are you still the same goalkeeper that you were 10 years ago?
No.
The answer is no. And if you're not, bro, we need to go get a new keeper. It's that simple. Yeah. Iker Casillas was one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You see, when the guy went to a point where he wasn't the same player, bro, he had to go. The club forced him out.
It was Mourinho who forced out Casillas, essentially. It was Mourinho because he put Diego Lopez there.
Come on. I mean, Dave, I love Iker Casillas. I love Iker Casillas, and I think that he was fairly, the way he was kind of kicked out of the club was a little bit unfair. I'm not saying he should have stayed. I feel like they really, really, really showed a lack of remorse when they got rid of him, right? Because remember, De Gea was like the shiny new toy in world football at the time, and Perez was obsessed with trying to bring De Gea to Real Madrid at the time, right? So that's why he was trying to get this guy out, right? And here's the thing. I understood it, Dave. I was like, you know what it is? Real Madrid have to do what they have to do, right? You got to move on with the times. And Vini needs to understand that. Vini has to understand, bro, every single year you're at Real Madrid, you got to fight to be there. You understand what I mean, right? You can't have an off-season like you had the season before and sit there and say, well, listen, I've had 2 Champions League, I've had 2 league titles, I've scored this amount of goals, I've scored in Champions League final. Okay, no shit. Guess what, bro? Ramos scored 2 finals. Guess what? Yep. When it was time for him to go, he wanted a 2-year deal. The club didn't want to give him a 2-year deal. He had to leave. So please, bro, understand this, bro. You are going to be one of the modern day, greats of this club, right? Legends of this club, right? For what you've done. But brother, you are not in the. You gotta understand. You remember the story of like.
Well, Vini.
Vini. That's what I'm saying. Right?
More than a legend.
I mean, for the modern day fans, he's like the representation of like the modern day fans for the modern day Madrid fans. Not for us, because we've seen too many great players at this club, right? But listen, if you're someone who lives in Madrid, let's be honest, right? Vinny, I'm sorry, right? If I'm just gonna be objective, Vinny, bro, are you even in the top 50? Like respectfully, bro. I know there's 50 players in Madrid's history, bro, that are better than you. Respectfully, bro. I'm gonna be very real, bro. Like Madrid's history goes back way long enough, way too long, bro. There's too many good players that have played for this club. But look, for the modern day fans, he's gonna be the representation. That's what I mean, Dave. You feel me? Right?
It may be for the younger generation.
Will is one of them. He's been a fan for 10 years. Look at the way this guy talks about Vinny, bro. Look at the way he talks about Vinny. I'm like, bro, this guy didn't see R9, bro. My guy didn't see R9. He didn't see Zidane. He didn't see any of these guys. If he saw those guys, he would understand, okay, man, listen, Vinny, I love you, but you gotta go. You feel me, right? But look, for me, I'll be honest, I think he's gonna leave. I think that if he doesn't sign a new deal, Perez doesn't care, bro. I've seen Perez get rid of better players than Vinny. I'm sorry, bro.
But the buck stops at Perez, so you can't really, as a player, try and demand something against Perez when Perez is not going to be. He's not going to budge. He's not going to budge. He's like, okay, have you won me a league this year? Okay, you haven't. Okay, adios. You see, that's what he's going to say. You know, have you won a league? Have you won me a Champions League? Have you won me a Copa del Rey? Okay, cool. Adios. Look, he got rid. Let's be honest. Oh, do you know the Ancelotti leaving scenario? Yeah, people were like, oh, Ancelotti's leaving, and like, oh, it's the memories and all this. Yeah, Perez went into the boardroom. He's like, you're sacked, Perf. That's all he said. 100%. You did not win me anything this year. You're sacked, mate. You're out.
Hey, listen,
it was never announced properly. It was never announced properly.
Do you remember Del Bosque? Del Bosque won a league and got sacked.
Yeah, I know exactly. So the situation is this, yeah. Vinny, you don't win me no leagues this year. You're sacked. Mbappe's not even safe, yeah. That's how ruthless is Perez, yeah. So, regardless of the situation, regardless of how Vinny is as a player and what he thinks he is as a player, if you don't perform, mate, you're out. And that's it, as simple as, yeah. Because I could see Perez, yeah, when last season he was in the grounds a lot, and I was there I can't remember which game it was. He was in the ground. I can't remember which game anyway. Yeah, and he did. They panned the the Titantron around the Bernabeu. Yeah, they showed him, and he was not looking impressed, mate. I think it was the Vallecano game. He was not looking impressed, bro. He was not impressed at all. Yeah, and honestly, Perez is a different level, mate. He's a completely different level of ruthless. So, Vinny, mate, he needs to perform. I'm sorry, Vinny, you do need to perform this year. Bro. If you perform average, you're gone. Even average, you're gone. I'm sorry, average, you're gone. You need to put one of your best performances ever this season. I see stinker after stinker in the very first 10 games. I'm going to be like, do you know what? I will officially start the hashtag Vinny out, bruv. Yeah? If I see stinkers, very first 10 games, I'm starting hashtag Vinny out. I don't even care, mate, yeah? Because I don't want to see that. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that, yeah? We have good players coming into the team now. We have a decent enough, obviously, well, I would say replacement for Rodrigo. I mean, Mastantuono's not really a replacement, but he's a good player, yeah?
One for the future,
you cannot be this ego around new, young players coming in, yeah? Dinazan young, Carreras is relatively, well, not that young, but he's relatively anyway, but you're going to have to be an example set. You've been here for such a long period of time. You need to set examples, yeah? And who's going to be the captain next year now? I don't even know who's going to be the captain. I think it's going to be Valverde. I think Valverde will be the captain. But, hey, mate, I tell you what, Vinny's one of the most senior guys there. That's crazy talk.
And that's the thing.
That is crazy.
Dave, you don't want one of your senior players to be like, and this is the thing with Madrid. The one thing I'll give Perez is a smart guy. He doesn't like these kind of players. He doesn't want players who can feel like they have control. I mean, obviously, let's be honest, Dave, right? This is the problem he had with the first Galacticos. He gave the first Galacticos way too much power, And as a result, the players started thinking they were bigger than the club. Do you remember when, like, you had like guys like R9 and Zidane, all these guys walking into his office saying, "Oh, this manager, I don't like this manager, sack this manager, and this and this and this." And eventually, the players had too much power, and that's why he resigned, because he knew he couldn't control the players anymore. And I feel like he will not make the same mistake, and he hasn't made the same mistake again. Right? You guys have had a lot of great players, but he's never let any player dictate how the club should be run. And like you mentioned, Perez does not care, bro. Perez is about what have you done for me lately, right? So Vini needs to understand that, and you're right. If he doesn't have a good season next season, he's leaving. Like they'll probably pull out of the contract. They'll be like, all right, man, listen, you clearly think that you are bigger than you are, but this is Real Madrid, and we are not ready to deal with this. If you're not gonna show us what you can do on the pitch, right? Because you got to prove it. Cristiano Ronaldo was here for almost 10 years, and every single season he proved why he should be here. Every season until he left.
He was competing. He was competing in the highest level with Messi.
But it doesn't matter, bro. But that's the thing with Real Madrid. Even Benzema. Why do you think Benzema stuck around for so long?
Do you know? So yeah. But so CR7's ability to play on the pitch and score so many goals came from the fact that he was competing with Messi, and he always saw Messi as that guy that he needed to compete with. Why can't Vini be competing? Obviously, Vini, Rafinha playing in the same position. Why isn't Vini outscoring Rafinha? Clearly, Vini is a better player than Rafinha. Clearly, we know that he's a better player than Rafinha by miles. But Rafinha, in a better managerial system, outscored Vini and out-assisted Vini as well. So for both situations, and looking at both players, and then you could say, okay, well, Rodrigo and Yamal, the same situation. Well, yeah, I know that situation, but Rodrigo on the left-hand side is a different ball game altogether. So, look, I like Vini. I like what he brings to the team. I like what he can do on the pitch. However, he hasn't been doing that, and he hasn't been proving himself in the matches last year. I remember a string of matches where he was just gone, dead, like not even active, in a match at all, just non-existent. Like we're playing with 10 men, Arsenal being one of them. Where was Vini in the Arsenal game? I don't understand. Mbappe was maybe at least trying to put some effort in, and you saw Rodrigo. I know Rodrigo got locked up by Marcelo Scali, but he was putting some effort. Vini put nothing into that match. Both legs against Arsenal. This is the kind of player we're expecting to turn up against Arsenal, and he did nothing in that quarter-final. He done nothing against Atletico Madrid as well. If I recall correctly, it was Rodrigo from the pass from Valverde when he cut in and absolutely banged the shot with his left foot that got him, that got us that goal ahead of Atletico Madrid. So it's just crazy, man. Like Timber locked him up, Atletico Madrid, the same thing. Barcelona, the same. Where the hell? The only time Vini
game in the Champions League was the game against Dortmund.
Dortmund. I know, but he single-handedly controlled that game himself. The last season, the last El Clasico, he wasn't too bad. He fed through the pass, obviously, for Mbappe. Obviously, started the counter-attacks decent, not too bad against Alaba. But the other El Clasicos before that, where was Vini? Come on, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, people look at GA. I'm sorry to say, he was just poor last season. Worse than average.
Oh, good point.
People think, and that as well. The crucial penalty, that could have sent us
Mbappe was on the pitch. He could have let Mbappe take it.
I know, but he decided to take it himself. Nerves got to him, and then done. It's common sense. They said it as well. Hakimi locked him up in the Club World Cup. Like when he comes up against really high quality right backs, he's lost. He doesn't know what to do.
Bro, Koundé was having the field. Bro, he didn't. He was getting locked up by Koundé the whole point.
Exactly.
In the last one, he kind of did better up because obviously it wasn't Koundé he was dealing with. But all the other times he dealt with Koundé was getting the best out of him.
Copa del Rey final, when Mbappe came on, instant impact. When Arda Güler came on as well, instant impact. Modric came on, changed their game. You see, we started out-passing Barcelona, out-moving Barcelona, and we were looking dangerous. And Mbappe was constantly running it. Vini, I'm sorry. I don't know. In the biggest matches, you obviously alluded to Vinny's a big player, big game
Yeah, he
player.
turns up in big moments.
Last year, he did absolutely nothing in the big moments. The only ones that we remember are his hat tricks against Osasuna
And Dortmund.
and Dortmund. Yeah, and that's pretty much like the only games. And Osasuna was a decent performance. Yeah, a lot of it was good as well. Good play from Vinny. However, yeah, I'm sorry to say that Vinny was just very lazy player overall, and he did not perform at all. I don't know where his head was in the clouds somewhere, but unfortunately, he needs to pull it out of it, and then that's it. Really, I mean, I don't want to say too much of Vinny because it seems like I'm a hater, but
No,
if I
but
can't
dude,
if I can't
say
if I can't criticize a player. Yeah, and he's off swanning off with flipping chicks on the beach, yeah, for his birthday celebration. Good on him, yeah, good on him. But the situation remains is this, yeah. You've done that now. Season's over. Back on it, yeah. The team's return, I think, is the 5th of August to start training again, to start training with Xabi Alonso, yeah, which is just 1 week away. And Vini needs to prove to Xabi Alonso not only on the pitch but also in the training ground as well. Does he deserve to be there? Because Mastantuono is going to be there. Rodrigo, if he stays at the club, he's going to be there, and Rodrigo has a point to prove. He can offer so much more that Vini doesn't offer in those positions.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
No, 100%. And look, at the end of the day, listen, as a fan, we have to always be critical. It is what it is. It's not about, okay, obviously, no one is not acknowledging what this guy has done. But brother, with everything that's been going on, right, with the season that you guys have had, with the way he fell off, right, and with the contract situation, you can't understand why a lot of the fans are going to call it out. And here's the thing with Kylian, right? Now, I'm not saying that Kylian is perfect, but Kylian got the goals. And here's the thing. What if Vini leaves Real Madrid? Then guess what? Now all the spotlight is on Kylian now. Because everyone's going to look at Kylian and be like, okay, well, listen. We've just gotten rid of the guy who just won us 2 Champions Leagues and a league title. Yeah, he wasn't playing well, but he did those things at this club. You now, the spotlight is on you. If we don't win trophies, I'm looking at you, Kylian. You understand what I mean, right? You're gonna drag us to every single trophy this season. If we want to win the Champions League, you're gonna win it first. You're gonna win us the league. You're gonna win us the El Clásicos. You're gonna
let me say about Kylian. Like, he scored 30 plus goals in La Liga. He scored obviously a string of goals in the Copa del Rey as well. He scored a string of goals in Champions League as well. Yeah, the amount of goals he scored single-handedly doesn't win us the trophies. It's the other players around him. Yeah, it's the other players around him. Yeah, because I remember situations when Vini had one-on-one opportunities and he didn't score, and that led us to either drawing or losing the game. That's as simple as, yeah. Because when we play against Betis, when we play against Bilbao, you need to take your chances. You know that as a Barcelona fan. Against those teams that are very solid, they play well, they play good football, you need to take your chances. Vini didn't, Mbappe does. That's it, simple as. So I'm looking at Vini, yeah? You're as a collective up front. That's why Lewandowski scoring just under shy of 30 goals in La Liga.
Yes.
Rafinha scoring a string of goals. Yamal scoring, well, not scoring too many goals, but contributing to a lot of his goals anyway, by the way. Pedri the same, yeah? When you have all...
Olmo, Fermin...
Exactly, Fermin, Ferran Torres, exactly.
That's why we were one of the highest goal scorers in Europe, because it was multiple people.
Exactly, but the situation is you're outscoring your opponents big time, yeah? So ultimately, you're looking at it like this, yeah? And when I look at Vini, yeah, he didn't score enough for us to collectively as a team get the amount of goals we need to win trophies.
Right.
Yeah? So, and I hate when DM keep on saying that Vini's a scapegoat. Vini's not a scapegoat, yeah? Vini's a good player, but the situation is he played below average last season. That's what he did. He had one bad season, and someone like, as a world-class player, you need to come up in the biggest moments. And he didn't. He didn't perform in one major game. I'm talking about major games are Champions League knockout rounds. Against Atletico Madrid, he did nothing. Yeah? Against Arsenal, he did nothing. Yeah? In all 4 El Clásicos, apart from the last one where he kind of helped and contributed to the team, did barely nothing. Yeah? Barely nothing. against teams, against the Atletico Madrid, both games, the home and away, I saw more Bellingham involved those games. Bellingham was my main guy in both Madrid derbies. He was the one that was getting stuck in always in the box and not getting locked up by the defense. Yeah, Betis very, very poor as well. Yeah, Bilbao, like for me, it's just like these matches, like Espanyol, man. Like I don't understand. Like these are the games you need to perform in. Just perform. Yeah. What did he do against Arsenal in the both? Like we're supposed to have Vini as a guy that's performing against Arsenal. Mbappe didn't perform against Arsenal either.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's the game where we need you to turn up.
Exactly. So that's the game where we need him to literally be okay. Yamal, look what Yamal did in the Champions League several times. Several times, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
We were in the game, bro. We couldn't break these guys down.
You're getting battered, mate. You're getting battered. And Yamal just single-handedly took the game by himself. You understand? Yeah. So this is the kind of player that you need. Yeah? This is the kind of player you need. Yeah? So, and that's exactly right. Rodrigo is a scapegoat because Rodrigo is the one who's getting sold. Or potentially getting sold.
Which is unfair. I agree.
He's the one who's the scapegoat because people are like looking at him like, because he's not the shouty. He's not the guy that goes, arm waves, do all that business. He doesn't do that. Yeah? So, like the possession-orientated football that I want the team to play, and that's what Xabi Alonso wants the team to play as well, doesn't suit Vini. I'm sorry, but what Vini offers is that kind of intensity that when he gets the ball, you're expecting big things to happen. Yeah, that's the kind of aura that Vini has, and I hope that he brings that with end product this year. That's essentially what I want. I just want the end product. I mentioned in my video that I just launched that Vini is a final action player. That's what he is. Vini's a final action player. Vini, in some occasions, can create things by himself in an instant. I know that for a fact. But he's a final action player. And being a final action player, he needs to be at the end of those goals. He needs to be scoring goals himself. He needs to be scoring 20-plus goals in a single season.
He needs to.
And Mbappe needs to be scoring 30.
That's not a Dave. He's at that age now. You're no longer like Vinicius, the youngster from Brazil.
Yeah.
You're now Vini now. You're now a part of the come on. People call him world class, bro. There's been people that have been calling him world class.
Yeah.
I know maybe not last season, but people were calling him world class. People were saying he should win the Ballon d'Or. This is what you now need from you, bro. You are now one of Madrid's best players. So you gotta put the 20 goals in, right? He
scored 11 goals in La Liga last season.
That is the point.
That's not enough, man. It's not enough.
And he was getting crucified.
Not enough. I'm sorry, it's not enough. Yeah, he needs to be scoring 20 plus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, but
guaranteed goals.
Look, Dave. I mean, listen. You talked about Vini, but I want to ask you something else, right? I want to ask you about David Alaba, right? Very quickly. Now, he said he's not leaving, right? Doesn't look like he's leaving, but I'm gonna be very honest with you, man. I look at this Alaba situation a little bit similar to how the Ter Stegen went, a little bit. Not that the guy is like putting his foot down and he's trying to make things difficult. I mean that, okay, here's a guy who, he's one of the highest paid players at the club, right?
One of the highest paid players in the world.
Yeah, right? And, dude, this brother, since I would say that first season when you guys won the Champions League, this brother cannot stay fit to save his life, bro, right? He's getting injured constantly, and not just like injuries here and there. No, this guy's having I'm talking like injuries where he's out for like months. Like this guy, I can't even count to my hands the amount of times I saw him on the pitch, and he's getting paid like 400K, right? And this is a big issue. Like this is a big issue for you guys, I would say, because look, I obviously you guys are not having the issues we're having with the 1-1 rule, but this is the kind of problems that you guys that will cost you guys to be under the one rule. Keeping players like this, you feel me, right? But is there any way you see the club potentially like? What would you do? Would you get to a point where you're like just pay him off and just get rid of him? That way you can just have that room in the team, or would you be like,
because it's 23 mil. His contract essentially. That's what it's valued at in it, because it's this year, 1 year remaining on his contract, 23 mil. So. Would you pay him the 23 mil? No, you wouldn't, because then it's basically, it ties you over for the season. You do have an extra player there if you can, and he's hoping to get back to his best. As we say, he's going to prove to Real Madrid. He ain't proven to Real Madrid shit, bruv. Yeah, he is not getting signed. He is not getting signed, re-signed. He's going to renew. Nothing about David Alaba. Yeah, this guy is not going anywhere this summer. But next summer, I tell you what, this guy is getting offloaded. Yeah, off the back of the van like an Amazon delivery, mate. This guy is getting packaged and sent to next teams, mate. Because unfortunately, contract's done. 400k. Adios, amigos. That's what you have to say.
That's
yeah,
next season, right?
That's next season, not this season. Not this season. You can't go this season because nobody's going to pay 430,000 euros a week to Alaba. No team in the world apart from Real Madrid, will pay 430,000 euros a week to this player.
On that point, right? When you guys signed him, what on your honest opinion, Dave, right? What did you think of the sign at the first? Did you think he was worth the money, or were you like, yeah, I would have signed him, but I wouldn't have paid him that much? Because I'll be honest with you. Remember, Barca were actually one of the clubs that were also looking at him at the time because he was to go on a free. I was like, yeah, I would love to have him, but brother, for 400k? Nah, bro. Because remember, this was like when we were having finances. I'm like, bro, I am not ruining all my finances for David Alaba. Like, what did you think of it when he first came in?
Well, do you know what? Okay, so he's contributed. Look, the first season it was not too bad. Like he's a decent player. Yeah, he's a decent player. Look, I'm not going to disrespect his Bayern Munich days because he was one of the best left backs I've seen, and obviously really good in terms of his distribution, his style of play. I've always seen David Alaba as a player that can be very versatile in different areas. Like, for example, play defensive midfielder, which he can do. He can play attacking midfielder. He's done that for Austria as well. So the situation is this, when he came in 2021, and he's won 2 La Ligas, he's won 2 Champions Leagues, won, I think, the Copa del Rey, the Super Cup of Spain as well. This guy, I think personally, he has... When they first came in, I was like, okay, cool. He can add some value to the team. But nobody predicted the amount of injuries this guy would have and everything, like the length of time he'll be out. And I think in 5 years, he's I read it last time, I think he's only made 75 league appearances for Real Madrid, which
74 for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my! What? Bro,
yeah.
Yamal has played over 100 games and he's only been playing for 2 seasons.
I know. It is that, man. It is that. So when you're looking at it, like I mean, talking about I think we're talking about league appearances here. So league appearances.
Yeah, league. That's what I was using.
Yeah, for 2001, 22, 23 season, 24 season, 25. So 4 full complete seasons. He has shown obviously only the same amount of league appearances than Yamal, essentially. So I think Yamal's got 70 something.
That's
so
insane.
It's crazy, isn't it? So you're looking at it, man. And Omar's actually correct with this. The Ter Stegen of Madrid, mate, always injured, always out, sitting on the bench, getting money and not doing anything. So do you know what? He's a decent player. When I went into Madrid's shirt to get this shirt here, I saw merch of Alaba. I was like, bruv, come on, bruv. Like, what, they're trying to pay his wages by selling merch? I bet nobody bought Alaba shirts. I guarantee you. And they actually look really good. Yeah. Really good. Yeah. I guarantee no one bought Alaba shirts, mate. No one on earth would buy Alaba shirts, mate. Alaba merch. Like, it's crazy, man. Like,
you're not playing, bro. In order for your shirts to sell, you have to be on the pitch to actually do well. Like, Vini is going to be one. I mean, whatever you think of Vini, he will be one of the highest paid shirts, right? Kylian will be one of them, right? But
I'm not talking about his actual thing. I'm talking about.
No, I mean, don't talk about his shirts, right? I mean, I know you just said that you saw his shirts there. I'm like, bro, in order for people to buy the shirt, you got to be on the pitch to actually play with the shirt, so that people can be like, okay, Alaba, there he is. He's actually one of my favorite players. I'm going to buy his shirt.
Yeah.
Like, Alaba, you're not even on the pitch, bro. I don't think a lot of them did. I'm sure when they saw his shirt in the stadium, in the club shirt.
It's not that one. It's this one here. I shared it on screen. If you can see it on here, that's the one there. You see the hasta el final, vamos Real. This is the moment, the magic moments, a la Madrid, mate. Moments. Yeah, the thing, mate.
PSG one. This was the PSG one, right? Remember the PSG one in the round? That was the one where he did this. I swear that was the one. I swear
Yeah,
this is the PSG
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so he this shirt was in the store, and I was like, nobody's buying this shit, bruv. No one is buying this, mate. No one is buying this at all. Let's be honest, yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous, mate. How this team is operating, mate, and to even audacity to sell that shirt is crazy. But anyway, we move, mate. We move.
I
Alaba,
mean,
good riddance next year, mate. Enjoy the season on the bench, and then we'll see you out in next season, mate.
okay, I'll say this to you, Dave. Right? Obviously, ever since I would say since the pandemic, right? Real Madrid have been very. They've had this kind of transfer strategy where instead of going out, obviously spending the crazy amount of money on the big names, you guys get the big names on a free, right? But do you think that putting all these players on these astronomical wages who are like at the club, like even guys like Kylian, let's be honest, man, putting on 600K on like his first contract, right? If he's gonna renew, well, how much money is he gonna be on, right, bro? If let's say this guy goes on to win the Ballon d'Or, wins the Champions League,
700 probably.
do you think? Do you ever think Madrid will ever get to a point where they will stop paying this guy?
1 million.
Yeah, like we were paying
A million a week. I don't even know, mate. I don't know, bruv.
He really has to
mad.
be. He really has to be great. Like he needs to be like one of the greatest of this generation to get that kind of money, don't you?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like the 600K is a lot, but look, we discussed Vini's wages before. He's on 400. Alaba's on 430. Yeah, it's mad, mate. Like I want to see players like Arda Güler be on these 200Ks, 300Ks as well.
Yeah, at some point.
I mean, I know he's young. Obviously, he's more experienced. More time you're with the club, you'll get an increased pay packet. But I'm sorry, but Mbappe's future negotiations are going to be killer, mate. And look, he's on this contract now for the next few years with us. Yeah, I think he will renew his contract at the end of it. Will he end up at Madrid? Who knows? Will he retire at Madrid? Who knows? I don't think so. I think he's quite young still. So look, who knows about Mbappe, mate? If it's $1 million a week, it's $1 million a week, mate. Yeah. Am I paying for it? Yes, I fucking am, mate. That's what I am, bro.
You will? Oh, you will?
Yeah, I'm paying it through my membership for bloody Real Madrid, bro.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. So last thing, last player I want to talk to about is quickly. I don't know what you think about it. I wanted to ask your opinion on the Raul Asensio thing with Alonso, right? I want to ask you first of all, for you, right? What do you think of the fact that Alonso now basically doesn't trust? Doesn't trust Raul Asensio.
He doesn't, because he's not the typical player of Alonso. Alonso's defenders need to be really good at carrying the ball and maneuvering the ball. Yeah, Rudiger doesn't fit that, and neither does Asensio. It's as simple as that. And I'm sure Alonso's screaming to Perez to get an actual ball carrying centre back, somebody who can really play.
Is there someone in this? I mean, obviously, Alaba, Saliba, and Konate is the one that's been linked. But do you see any defenders that might be like affordable, where you're like, okay, we should probably go for this guy? I think this guy would work under the Alonso's art. Is there like a player that stands out to you?
I don't know if Bastoni would stand out. Bastoni's a good centre back. You do need more of a destroyer defender, and you need more of a kind of a cutesy defender, if you know what I mean. Somebody who can really play the ball really well. Like, for example, Dean House, and we already got that. But look, like, Frank Garcia's not leaving as well, because the reason Frank Garcia's not leaving is because there's no natural person who's fit enough to cover for Carrera. So if Carreras is going to play the left back position or left wing back position, then we're going to have a suitable cover, Frank Garcia. But if the centre backs are not there, Carreras can fit in the centre back. I don't know, man. I want to see another centre back. I want to see one more centre back, and I need to see a midfielder come in. That is as simple as that, mate. But the only way we're going to do that, like I said, is just to get rid of Rodrigo. And that's it. I mean, people say, oh, we don't need to get rid of Rodrigo. We can spend another 60, 70 million. Yeah, okay, cool. In the eyes of Perez, maybe it's wasted money. I don't know. Perez has been very tight recently. You know Perez.
But you know what I think, Dave? And this is just my opinion. You can tell me if you disagree.
It's not old school Perez.
I think that I don't think
he's a good businessman. Perez is a
good businessman, but also he understands, because he's, like you mentioned, he's a good businessman. He knows what happens around. Right? He's seen what Barca did under Bartomeu, where we just kept on spending and spending and spending and spending. We're not thinking the risk, right? he doesn't want to get to a point where he's potentially even risking Real Madrid's future like that. So he's going to make smart signings, right signings at the right moments at the right time. You understand what I mean, right? So that's why you can see he's been doing like 3 transfers and maybe making big deals, but just making like one big deal. Like let's say he gets the Bellingham deal where he gets paid like 100 million, 120 or something like that. I don't know how much you guys spend on him, but he makes that amount of money, but then he doesn't spend for the rest of the summer. You feel me, right? He's like, okay, until our finances are in such a great place, I'm not going to risk it. You understand what I mean, right? But listen, Dave. Okay, so this is the last thing we're gonna talk about before we get out of here, right? Obviously, another player that I feel like we need to talk about. I'm sure you're going to talk about him in the future, but apparently there's been a lot of talk also of Courtois, right? It seems like you guys see, he might start the opening contract renewal talks very, very soon. Well, how do you feel about renewing him?
Oh, mate, Courtois is an absolute certified. He can play until he's 50, mate. I don't care.
Yeah, he said he wants to retire at the club. So.
Courtois, I'm telling you right now, apart from because Iker Casillas is close to my heart, but this guy, mate. Oh man, Courtois is an absolute. I'm not gonna lie. He's a beast, mate. He is. Let's just call it as it is. He's probably top three goalkeepers in the world.
That's not even a debate.
Maybe even the best, like next to Alisson, as well.
This guy, you know what's funny? The season you guys had, right? A lot of your players can get criticism. For me, Courtois is one of those guys who I'm like, bro, you've considered a lot of goals, but I can't even blame you at all, bro. Because, dude, you were making like the saves I saw this brother making in some games. I'm like, bro, like, this guy's not Superman, bro. What, you guys just gonna keep your defense just gonna keep sleeping and then he's just gonna keep bailing you guys out?
Yeah, like, because obviously Real Madrid's over 30 rule. They said, they're not gonna renew contracts for players over 30. They made the exception for Courtois. Mate. It's 20. Yeah, I think it's 2027. He's extended to. Chat if I'm correct. So, I for me, Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. He has saved us so many times. He made Arsenal's game look very respectable. That's saying something. Yeah,
of course.
He made that scoreline look. Otherwise, it'd have been 8-1, 9-1, bro. Like, it's as simple as him. Against Barcelona, also look, certain saves would have made the scoreline look respectable. He is such a good keeper, but the situation is obviously with Real Madrid goalkeepers is that look, we have Lunin, we have I think it's Fran Gonzalez as well. So these different types of goalkeepers, I think Lunin is a great backup. I love Lunin as well. I think he's a great keeper. Look at him in the Champions League season when Courtois was out injured. Look at him in that Champions League season. Absolutely fantastic, mate. That Man City performance was actually out of this world class. Yeah. So Lunin is a great keeper and Courtois is a great keeper. Yeah. I love Lunin. I love Courtois. We'll just hope that Lunin stays also for a long time as well.
Lunin should be number 1 somewhere. I'm sorry, bro. The guy's too good to be a number 2. If I'm going to be honest, he's too good to be on. Bro, he was
linked with Newcastle. Lunin. I don't think we're going to sell to Newcastle. I don't think we're going to do that.
I mean, to be fair, he definitely deserves to be starting somewhere. I'll say that now. But Dave, last thing we're going to talk about before we get out of here. Okay. Obviously, preseason. You guys not gonna play preseason, are you?
We don't play preseason games until the first game. We're not playing any preseason games until we're not playing any preseason games.
Because Tebas basically didn't refuse to give you guys an extension because you guys played in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, it's just because of the Club World Cup. The Club World Cup is our preseason. Let's just call it as it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a major tournament and it's going to be there every 4 years. Yeah, so we're not playing the preseason games. Okay. There's none that's been announced. Maybe Real Madrid will find one game to get them into the form, but it will maybe behind closed downs. It may be behind closed doors. It could be Castilla, which we've done before in previous years. Yeah, so Real Madrid preseason fixtures will be nothing really. They won't have anything for this season.
Okay. But but we will be playing against FC Seoul. Now you're not going to be doing a watch along because you said that you're going to be.
I'm working. Yeah, I'm working that day. But I am watching the game.
Yeah,
I'm watching the game. I'm doing a match reaction, mate.
I mean, listen, we will obviously next show is going to be on Thursday, so
it'll be after the game. Yeah.
So, oh shit, bro. If we lose that game, bro, I'm not even
No,
joking.
you're not
We
gonna
lose
lose, bro.
that game, bro. That
You're not
Madrid
gonna lose against
Barcelona
FC Seoul, bro. Let's
will
just
be
be
a
honest on this one.
long show for me. I mean, I know, listen, I know
South
it's
Korea.
preseason, but dude, you guys are looking. This hate watches I've been watching. You guys are just waiting for us to just slip on one of these games so that you can just have something to hate about. But it is what it
Yeah.
is. It's football culture, man. But look, obvious FC Seoul. In your opinion, what do you think that Barca or Flick could do in this game? Do you think he could completely rotate the team, or do you think he's just gonna play the same team? What do you think, honestly?
He's gonna do rotation. He's gonna do rotation again. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna see which players fit. I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford starts this game and gets hooked off at halftime. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Give him a fresh start into the game.
Right.
I wouldn't mind actually seeing that as well. So look, I'm going to put the banter aside for Rashford now because I've had enough
You've had
cooking
your
in,
fun.
mate.
You've had your fun. Yeah.
I've had my fun. I'm going to actually be honest about Rashford now completely and see
Let's
what he
hear it.
offers to Barcelona. So let's see what is Barcelona. Look, if they lose, bruv, I'll be celebrating like any other Real Madrid fan. But the situation is that like Barcelona fans celebrated the fact that we drew against Al Hilal, mate. Like, come on, mate. It's Al Hilal, bruv.
Man, come on, man. Allow it, man.
Yeah, but we'll see, man. We'll see, and let's hope that FC Seoul gets a win, mate.
I mean, listen. Look. For me, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I don't care if it's a preseason. Don't not lose to these Asian clubs, man. I'm not trying to deal with all of that, drama that's gonna come out of it. But for me, I think what's more important is, like you mentioned, getting the best team, getting the best players, right? Some of the younger players, like players that I want to see players. I want to see some players come in because here's the thing, Dave. I know I haven't talked about it in this podcast, right? But the fact that Laporta has now come out and said, we're not going to make any more signings. That's not good news for me, right? Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have their so many says. People are saying, well, Omar, listen, at the end of the day, the club have to do this. Maybe they have big plans for this summer, next summer, maybe to get a striker and all this stuff. Look, fine. You feel me, right? I'm at a point now where I'm not going to start shouting, screaming, and ranting anymore. I've gone beyond that nowadays. You feel me, right? It is what it is. If this is, like, I don't know, Dave, because a lot of people also believe that a man like Laporta is gaslighting people. People think that he's gaslighting. He's trying to basically get all like the attention off of us, right? Where he's gonna be like going into the season, and everyone's gonna be thinking, "Oh, Barcelona not gonna sign anybody," and then out of nowhere, we just go and sign like a Van der Sar or Dumfries, or one of them is like, "Wait a minute, I thought these guys were not gonna sign anybody. I think you guys didn't have money. This and this and this." It's kind of very similar to what we did in 2022 when Tebas said we couldn't sign one player and we signed like 7 players, and it was like, "Bro, how did you guys make where did Barca find the money to buy these players?" Right? I hope that's the case. But if it's not the case and he is being honest, then now we need to see the La Masia grads get an opportunity, right? If Dro is one of those players, good. I want to see Torres. I want to see him because, dude, I've been hearing too much about this guy. Let me see him play. Give him a lot of game time during this preseason, right? I wanted to see Vigili, bro. I don't want to, bro, don't sell any more right backs. Because, dude, if God forbid we lose Koundé, that is our season over, Dave. Because we're gonna have to deal with Eric Garcia could do a job there, but brother, he's not a right back. You guys are putting too much trust in a player who is not experienced in that position. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's just be safe and just have a player, who's natural in that position. That's what I think, Dave. For me.
Yeah, I think if you're trusting in the youth, then obviously Hansi Flick's good with that anyway. So I wouldn't see any problems with it. Look, with the youth players, they can't be just thrown into the deep end. Like, that's the situation with Barcelona. Barcelona should have looked maybe at loan deals for replacement left backs, loan deals for replacement right backs that could be very effective for you, instead of just throwing young players from the academy directly into the squad. So, but if that's how Barcelona want to roll, that's how Barcelona want to roll. That's as simple as. Because look, you can see Pedro, you can see Torrens, all these different types of players. Look, the age and how they've played for, obviously, Barcelona's B side. then they have experience in league formats. But what you fail to realize is that they don't have experience in La Liga. That's the difference maker. You see, so. However, the academy players they come through, and look, Yamal is sensational and is like 1 in a million, yeah. But like, there's so many players, man. There's so many players in past history of Barcelona being flops, and you've seen them for one game. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Look at Bohan, exactly the same situation, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Bohan was such an amazing prospect, and then he died off, man.
Mentally, he wasn't good. He wasn't good.
He was the next Messi. He was the next Messi. But people say, "Oh, okay, everybody's the next Messi. Everybody's the next Messi." Yamal
He genuinely was, bro. People forget how good Boyan came, bro. When Boyan came out of the academy, geez, 17 years old. This guy went like people were like, "Yo, they just had Messi. Now they got this. What the fuck is going on in the La Masia academy?" Like, bro, we could have had something special when we had those two, but like you mentioned, there was so many different variations. Like, obviously, him not being, he's a guy, who's obviously talked about his mental health and stuff like that. He couldn't handle the spotlight. That's the truth, right? But it's all part of it, man. And look, for me, I don't know, man. Listen, big up to every single one of you guys. Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie, Dave, right? Today the people who've been liking this team, they've been moving like Vini last season, bro. We had like over almost 190 people here at one point, and I'm still not even hit 50 likes yet, bro. Crazy, man. Like, bro, the conversion rate, this is Vini levels of conversion rate we're watching here, man. Absolutely crazy, man. But listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But Dave, listen, talk to me, man. Like, what do you have? Obviously, you've just had a video. I haven't watched your video yet. I'll watch it after the stream is over, right?
It's a very deep one, Rodrigo.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into that. But listen, Dave, what do you got coming up on your channel, man? Let the people know.
We have to get into the swing of doing the Galacticos podcast again. I may ask Will to do it tomorrow, and then we'll do it on Thursday as well. But maybe I'll probably be doing a Madrid talk this week with Football Matrix. I'm going to probably invite him onto a show this week. Cool. And I'm going to be starting very soon. It's an idea, guys, where it's Dave versus Barcelona fans. So me against all the Barcelona fans that I know. It'll be Omar. It'll be Barca Volume. It'll be Barca Reacts. It'll be everyone, mate, that I know as a Barcelona. Papillon will be there as well. So it'll be me against.
Is it going to be a panel show?
It's just basically me versus Barcelona. Yeah, I will take on every single Barcelona fan there is. Yeah, and I'm planning to do this the day after La Liga finishes in terms of weekend matches. So it will be. After La Liga matches.
If you don't lose the I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be part. I might be part of it. I might not be part of it. But brother, if I'm not part of it, I'll literally just I'll put it on my TV and just watch the carnage. It
will be called Barca Cooks Dave. That's what the show is gonna be.
Don't
called.
worry, listen. I got a lot of Barca fans, man. I'm gonna reach out to all of them. I'm gonna be like, listen. Dave is gonna be doing a 20v1, right? Listen, 20v1. By the way, guys, pause for those of you guys because you guys are sick minded, but you get what I mean, right? 20 fans versus Dave, 20 Barca fans versus Dave. I'm a Madrid fan, right? Guess what, bro? I'm gonna bring all the Barca fans and I'm gonna be like, listen, man. This guy's not getting away with it, man. Make sure you guys go cook him.
I'm trying to get Michi on there as well. I'm trying to get him on there. We'll see. I'm trying to get a lot of these Barcelona fans to. So basically, it will be about 6 Barcelona fans versus Dave. Yeah, it'll be like a Royal Rumble, mate. It'll be like a Royal Rumble. It'll be like like a battle rap, mate. It'll be one round after another round. Yeah, like bang, bang, bang. That's what it is, mate. Yeah. So
I'll give you that.
But if Barcelona lose on the weekend, Dave will be in full effect, mate.
He's gonna have the day of his life, bro. Knowing that he's got like Barca fans to cook, like Barca fans can't even speak, bro.
Do you know that thing was like what was it? 1 man versus 100, like no, what was it? 1 gorilla versus 100 men, yeah. 100 men. Yeah, it'd be Dave versus 20 Barca fans, mate. Just like in the chat, mate, and all the Barcelona fans in the comment section will be absolutely crazy, mate. But I will have. Yeah, I know Papillon will be extremely loud. And me and
you imagine. Listen, Papillon. If you decide to bring can I RL bring Papillon and maybe Abs Nuri, bro. I'm telling you, Dave, you're probably gonna do one show and be like, all right, I'm not doing this show anymore.
No, I am. I'm gonna carry on doing it, mate. It'll be the most It'll be the most box office show. In the history of La Liga on YouTube, mate. Honestly, it would be crazy, mate.
Listen, let me tell you something. This season is our season. La Liga is gonna take over, man. We're gonna take over YouTube. I've said it before, man. We're building up. And listen, you've seen it, man. People are loving these shows, right? So, but listen, make sure you guys go subscribe to End the Stream Dave, right? The link is in the title, guys. Okay, I put the title of his on his channel on the title, guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. And listen, he's obviously now you guys have seen like recently in his channel, he's been active doing a lot of live streams. He's doing shows. He's got the Galactico show. He's got the obviously from Madrid to Barca show with me, which we will be running on Thursday on his channel, right? Every Tuesday and Thursdays, guys. Home and away.
Tuesday, Thursday,
Yeah, so preview is on his channel, reaction my channel. You understand what I mean, right? He's obviously going to do some other Barca shows. He's planning on doing the 20v1 with the Barca fans. Listen, pause. By the way, pause, mega pause. But yeah, he's planning on doing, he's planning on doing a lot of stuff on his channel.
I might actually call it R.I.P. Dave. It'll be crazy, mate. Imagine if it's like R.I.P. Dave.
Listen, if you lose to Real Madrid, that's what good.
Oh my God! After the El Clasico.
Yeah,
my
Dave.
Lord.
That's what you're gonna call it. Just put R.I.P. Dave.
After the El Clasico, it will be absolute.
Oh, you're done. You're finished.
Nightmare.
Finished,
I'm moving.
Dave, I'm telling you now. If you lose at El Clasico,
if Rashford scores as well,
you're gonna have 100 people waiting for you in the chat.
If Rashford scores as well, that would be crazy, bruv. I might as well just give up, mate. No, I'll come in full shades, mate. I'll come in full shades like a hoodie, mate. I'll do all of it, mate. I'll do all of it. Exactly, mate. Yeah, that will be there. So that's my plan, guys. Yeah, so it's going to be a Dave versus Barca. That's it.
Dave versus the wall.
Dave versus Barca, mate. That's it. Simple as, mate. And yeah, I hope or Dave gets cooked, mate. That's it.
Oh, bro, imagine if Rashford scores. Oh my God, if Rashford scores, Dave, you are done. You are finished. If Rashford scores again,
God help me, mate. God help me, Rev. God help me.
Rashford scores and we win, you are done, bro. Your life is over.
That's what I'm gonna be doing the whole stream, mate. That's what I'm gonna be doing the whole stream, Rev. Yeah. But yeah, I'm planning to start that. So I think you're definitely on board. I think Barca Volume definitely will be on board as well.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Barca Reacts will definitely be on board. Papillon absolutely is definitely going to be on board. Yeah, that guy's definitely going to be on board.
Barca Volume,
Barca Volume's going to be on board as well, mate. So we're going to have a load of Barcelona fans, and me. How interesting is that going to be?
Oh yeah, listen, guys. Make sure
we'll see.
You guys subscribe to Dave. Like you guys mentioned, listen, man. If you guys are entertained, right, you guys need to go and subscribe to his channel because, dude, those shows are gonna be absolutely lit, guys. But listen, Dave, appreciate you for being here. Obviously,
no worries, man.
Episode 2.
My pleasure.
Of the Barca to Madrid podcast because this is the home game. So we're in the Camp Nou today, right?
Yeah.
Episode 2. Episode 3 will be coming out in 2 days, guys, on Dave's channel, guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Dave. And yeah, man, big up to every single one of you guys who have been here, man. We're almost on 60. Listen, I started complaining about the likes, and I'm almost about to 60 likes. I'm 5 away from hitting 60. Make sure you guys help me get to 60 likes. Big up to every single one of you guys who have been here.
What's your next target? What's your next target? Subscriber-wise.
Right now, I am on 388, so the target is 4K. I'm trying to hit 4K by the start of the season. Guys, I said this to you at the start of the transfer window. I said, bro,
it's 100. Yeah, it's not too bad.
4K by the opening day of the season. You understand what I mean, right? So please, guys, we are literally 110 subscribers away from hitting the target, bro. You guys have been
and there's more than that in the video. There's more than that in the live stream, though.
Dude, if you want, listen, I've got over 178 people, and most of you guys are not even subscribed, guys. Subscribe to the channel, guys. But listen, make sure you guys subscribe and listen. Like you mentioned, the target is 4K by the opening day of the season. We're gonna hit that target, guys, because you guys have been smashing it recently. I've been seeing a lot of you guys supporting on the channel. So make sure you guys keep subscribing to the channel, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. This has been another episode from the Madrid to Barca show, guys. And yeah,
Or
man,
Barca to
make sure you
Madrid.
guys smash the like button. Hold on, let me see who's live before I get out of here because I do want to redirect. I don't like leaving here without redirecting to someone. Who's live, guys? Let's take a look before we get out of here. So Hooks is live, Rance is live, Jez is live. Let me send you guys to. Let me
Do it
send
to
you.
Jez. Do it to Jez. Do it to Jez.
Yeah, let me try send you guys to Jess. Okay, yeah, big up to Jess. Jess is cool,
Arsenal
man. Jess
fan.
always helps the channel.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we're gonna be redirecting you guys to Jess is Arsenal, guys. Big up to my family at Jess. Make sure you guys go put Omar BYT rate in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And like I say whenever I end these streams, guys, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia. And yeah, Dave, do you want to add something before you go?
No, man. A la Madrid, man. Nada más, boy.
Take care, guys.
Adios.